कुंज बिहारी
गोपीजना वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
कृष्ण वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी
यशोदानंदन व्रज जनरंजन
वसुदानंदन ब्रजजननंदन
यमुना तीरावनचारी
समन तीर बलचारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी
जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे
हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
हरे कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे
निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद
जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 प्रभुपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव श्रीपाद गुरुदेव श्रीपाद
जय गुरुदेव श्रीपाद गुरुदेव श्रीपाद
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव
जय जय गुरुदेव 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 गुरुदेव
जय गुरुवारा शिला श्रीपाद की जय, जगत गुरु शिला प्रभुपाद की जय, श्री श्री गौर निताय की जय, लक्ष्मी नरसिंह भगवान की जय, गोपाल देव की जय, श्री जगन्नाथ बलदेव सुभद्रा महारानी की जय, श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण चंद्र की जय, जय जय श्री श्री राधा माधव की जय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय।
ओम नमः भगवते वासुदेवाय।
नारायणं नमस्कृत्य
नारायण नमस्कृतं
नरं चैव नरोत्तमं
नरसैव नरतनं
देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं
देवी सरस्वती व्यासं
ततो जयमुदीरये।
ततो दयामुदीरये।
नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु
नष्टप्रायस्य भद्रेषु
नित्यं भागवत सेवया
नित्यं भगवते सेवया
भगवति उत्तमश्लोके
भगवते उत्तमः श्लोके
भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिकी।
भक्ति भगवते नैष्टिकी।
Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 6, Chapter 16. King Chitraketu meets the Lord. Text number 45. Atha Bhagavan Vayam Adhuna Tvad Avaloka Parimrishtasya Malaha Surarshina Katitam Tava Khatitam Tava Kena Katam Anyatha Bhavati. Therefore, my dear Lord, simply by seeing you has now wiped away all the contamination of sinful activities and their results of material attachment and lusty desires, which always filled my mind and the core of my heart. Whatever is predicted by the great sage Narada Muni cannot be otherwise. In other words, I have obtained your audience as a result of being trained by Narada Muni. Please repeat. Therefore,
Therefore,
my dear Lord,
my dear Lord,
simply
dear Lord,
seeing you
simply seeing you
has
simply
now
seeing you
wiped away
is now
has now wiped
away
away
all the contamination of sinful activities
all the
all the contamination
contamination
of
of
sinful
sinful
activities
activities
and their results of material attachment and lusty desires,
and
and
their
their
results of
results
material
of
attachment
material
and lusty
attachment and
desires,
lusty desires,
which always filled my mind
which
which
always filled my
always fill
mind
my mind
and the core of my heart.
and
and
the
the
core of my
core of
heart.
my heart.
Whatever is predicted by the great sage
Whatever is
Whatever is
predicted by the great
predicted by
sage
great sage
Narada Muni
Narada
Narada
Muni
Muni
cannot be otherwise.
cannot
cannot
be
be
otherwise.
otherwise.
In other words,
In other
In
words,
other words,
I have obtained your audience
I have
I
obtained
have
your
obtained
audience
your audience
as a result of being trained
as a
as a
result of
result
being
of being
trained
trained
by Narada Muni,
by
by Narada
Narada
Muni.
Muni.
purport by Devendra Shila Prabhupada. This is a process of the perfect way. One must take lessons from authorities like Narada, Vyasa, Asita and follow their principles. Then one will be able to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead, even with one's own eyes. One only needs training. Atah Sri Krishna Namadina Bhavet Grahyam Indriyai. With our blunt eyes and other senses, we cannot perceive the Supreme Personality of Godhead. But if we engage our senses in the service of the Lord, according to the instructions of the authorities, it will be possible to see Him. As soon as one sees the Supreme Personality of Godhead, all the sinful reactions in the core of one's heart are certainly vanquished. Om Ajnana-timirandasya Gnananjana Shalakaya Chakshiranmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Guruve Namaha. Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Swarupa Damodara Swami Namine Nama Sadbhakta Manaye Manipurudbhavaya Cha Prabhupada Satvani Prachara Nirtayate Namam Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Sunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Jai Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasati Gauru Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Jai Guruvara Sila Shripad ki Jai. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Atah Bhagavan Vayam Adhuna. Tvad avaloka parimrishtasaya malaha sura rishina yat katitam tavakena katam anyatha bhavati. Hare Krishna. We have here very nice revelation by Chitraketu that, my Lord, I am just by seeing you, all the contaminations of my sinful activities are vanquished. Therefore, they results of material attachment and lusty desires. So, the sinful activities have further chain reaction of creating further material attachment and lusty desires. Means sinful activities increase the fervor for further sinful activities. So the popular uh, uh, misconception that by engaging in sinful activities one becomes one becomes frustrated, or it becomes negative, or becomes repulsive to sinful activities. But here Chitraketu is revealing that the sinful activities result in the material attachment and further lusty desires, which always filled my mind and the core of my heart. So this is the true bondage in the material world. Our heart is filled with material attachments and lusty desires. And our body is filled with sinful activities. So therefore, body and mind are heart, body and heart, they nurture one another in material attachment and lusty desires and sinful activities. We engage our body in the sinful activities, and that will further increase mental attachment. Whoever is providing or whichever is providing this sinful engagement, we develop attachment for them, and then further increases lusty desires. So by seeing the Lord, all this have been disappeared, wiped away. All the things are wiped away. So that is a transcendental nature of the Lord. That by engaging in the chanting the glories of the Lord, one is in direct contact with the Supreme Lord, and one's heart becomes cleansed. But that is not the whole story. I have obtained your audience as a result of being trained by Narada Muni. So this happens, this magic happens when one is trained by a Mukta Purusha, a pure devotee, Suddha Bhakta, pure devotee, and Narayana Parasarve, one who is dedicated to the service of the Narayan, of the Lord. In other words, one who is an associate of the Lord. If one receives such training by Narada Muni, a person who is in the line of Narada Muni. So in the line of Narada Muni means in the line of thoughts of Narada Muni. of course, disciplic succession of Gaudiya Brahmamadhya Gaudiya Sampradaya is in the line of Narada Muni. So therefore, we see the same thought process that Narada Muni has in our acharyas, and Srimad Bhagavatam is our paramount scripture to show us our path, which is full of thoughts of Narada Muni and other devotees who are the associates of the Lord, who can bless us with the audience of the Lord, who can bless us with the darshan of the Lord, who can bless us with the association of the Lord. कुछ है? नहीं. And in this case of King Chitraketu, we have already seen what kind of training Narada Muni gave. In the time that he's spent his time with King Chitraketu, Narada Muni was focusing on convincing that this family life is illusion. If we remember in the previous chapter or in this chapter, this family life is an illusion. This attachment binds us. So one has to free oneself from this family life sooner or later. And the best if one does not enter. And this is not one time that Narada Muni is instructing. Again and again, throughout Srimad Bhagavatam, whenever Narada Muni appears, the same teachings. There is no difference in the teachings. And it starts with the first canto. In the first canto itself, Narada Muni instructs Vyasadeva. See. So Narada Muni even guides and leads the Paramahamsas. No? Great devotees like Vyasadeva. So even among the Paramahamsas, there are more Paramahamsas. I mean, more advanced Paramahamsas. And we have seen there that Narada Muni is straight away telling what mistake Vyasadeva has done. What is it? Jugupsitam dharma krute anusasitaha swabhava raktasya mahan vyatikramaha yad vakyato dharma iti tirastito namanyate tasya nivaranam jana. Once you allow this sense enjoyment in the name of religion, right? What people will do? They will not care for prohibition. So therefore, this allowance of sense gratification in the name of religion is abominable, jugupsitam, greatly abominable. And this is the first correction you have to make in your scriptures. So therefore, then the allowance is, and the arrangement is the family life. The family life is an arrangement for religiously exercising one's propensity for material enjoyment and material attachments. And once it is allowed, people doesn't care for prohibitions. So what is the prohibition? That come out of family at 50. That people don't care. And many other prohibitions that we will not go here. That is, we don't have time for that. But this is abominable, and we should come out of this abominable situation. And another great teaching Narada Muni gave, that scientific Sankirtan, scientific presentation of the glories of the Lord, is actually Hari Kirtana and all other similar activities. So, what is the way out of those who are entangled in this family life? What is the way out? Uchista lepan anumodito dvijaha sakrutsma bhunje tat apasta kilvishaha evam pravrittasya visuddha chetasa tad dharma evatma ruchihi prajayate. Once only by their permission I took the remnants of their food, and by so doing all my sins were at once eradicated. Thus being engaged, I became purified in heart, and at that time the very nature of the transcendentalist became attractive to me. So we have no attraction for the nature of a transcendentalist, for the nature of a sadhu. Right? We think it is all right. I can be sadhu also inside, be staying in the family life. This is also saintly. So because that allowance has been provided, we will not come over it. So therefore, what happens? We compromise in our mind, in our intellect, that this is also as good process as giving up the family by glorification of the Lord, by engaging in Sankirtan. It is all right. So therefore, the nature of being a sadhu doesn't arise in our heart, because the same allowance. Once allowance is given, our mind and heart and intellect, it tricks us. So therefore, namanyate tasya nivaranam jana. So therefore, we don't care for the prohibition. That is to give up the family. Acceptance, we are very, we quote the scriptures, we quote other Upanishads, not Upanishads, some other Puranas, to enter into family life. But we don't take the same help from the Puranas to come out of it. So that is the magic of. So what is the way out? That taking the remnants of the food of the sadhus. So Narada Muni was a child of a maid servant, but he took remnants of the sadhus who were staying at his house while transiting. I think they sent 1 month or 2 months. So every day he was taking the remnants of their food. Once only by their permission I took the remnants. Once he has taken. And the result is that the idea of a sadhu, idea of a transcendentalist, like Narada Muni, right? Or like Narada Muni is now. But once he took the remnants from those who are like Narada Muni, that's how he became Narada Muni now. So because this attraction arises, the idea of becoming a sadhu, the idea of becoming completely dedicated to the Lord without being bothered by anybody or without being attracted to any material connections, without being having to spend one's time to maintain material attachments. Wow, what a opportunity to fully absorb in the service of the Lord. This attraction is missing. Right? Think about just from the time we get up till the time we sleep, fully only in the Lord's service. So, without bothering about anything else. Wow, what a life. So, that attraction to the nature of transcendentalist is not arising. There is some appreciation. Okay, they're also good. They have given up everything. They have gone. This is nice. But we are no less. I am no less. I am also okay. It is not coming to a threshold where you say, I am not okay. This is what is a life. Life means this is a life of a sadhu. One who is fully dedicated himself to the service of the Lord in the association of others similarly fully dedicated sadhus. What a life. Even if I have to attend somebody, it is again a sadhu. If I have to attend, if I have to do some service, it is sadhu. If I have to render some service, it is sadhu. If I have to cook for somebody, it is sadhu. If you have to take care of somebody, it is also a sadhu. Wow, what a life. That is attraction to the life of nature of transcendentalists, not worried about anything else other than the service of the Lord. It happens only by the association of the associates of the Lord. So therefore, those who are in family, they must have a regular program at least once in a week. Invite all the devotees, have Sankirtan in the home, and don't worry about any other drawbacks. We know we have so many, the mind gives so many logics. Oh, they may exploit, somebody unwanted people may come. But that risk is worth taking. And even if the supposed risk does really happen, it is good for us. It is a special mercy of the Lord. And that shows that we really value the service of the Lord and the service of the devotees and Vaishnavas more than anything in our material life. We must have one who is a grahastha, devotee. He must have weekly program in his house. Invite nearby people, do Sankirtan, tell about Krishna. In his house, he must have, otherwise the house will not be purified. In house, we only remember our material connections and material enjoyment. And we can get also remnants from the sadhus. So we should constantly invite sadhus to our home and have program in the house. So therefore, sadhu's only business is to give such attraction to the life of sadhu. So that is Narada Muni's. And what else? Those who are troubled by the sense gratification, they can get free from, they can get attraction. Anxiety is due to attachment to the sinful activities and sensual senses. They can cross over the naysayance on a most suitable boat, the constant chanting of the transcendental activities of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So the way Sankirtan, one can overcome the troubles of the heart, which is keeping us in the material obligations. And the wonderful revelation of Narada Muni is that without Mukunda Seva, without the devotional service, the other processes does not give satisfaction, right? Even other transcendental paths do not give satisfaction. Then what to speak about the material life or those who are busy with the family life? How it will give satisfaction? It is only again and again give us the satisfaction. Yamadibhir yoga pataye kama loba hato muhu mukunda sevaya yadvat tatat madhana samyati. So the other process of yoga process, they will not give any satisfaction. They give some happiness, but one will not be satisfied because the satisfaction For this is derived from devotional service to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because that satisfaction comes only by devotional service. So this is a summary of Narada Muni's teachings and training. And the same thing we see, which he has given the same knowledge to Prahlad Maharaj. He has given to the Prachetas. He is giving to now to Chitraketu. He has given. Like this, so many places, Narada Muni giving the same knowledge. And Prahlad Maharaj revealing what he has learned from the Narada Muni in the womb. What he learned? Yan Maithunadi Gruhamedi Sukham Hitucham. So, this family enjoyment is to be condemned. To be say no. One should try not to enter. Or if one enters, one should condemn himself and come out as soon as possible. Not convince oneself it is all right, or convince others it is also all right. No, it is not all right. One should be very much convinced about this fact. Because our primary attraction remains our family bonding. And sadhus and Krishna, they always remain secondary. Because all our time and energy and resources we dedicate for them. So therefore, Narada Muni's teachings is the same everywhere. Even the 5 years old, one who is not even born, one who is in the womb, is the same teaching. Don't enter family life. So, but of course, Prahlad Maharaj, being a king, he has to enter by the order of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So one can enter family life if the Lord orders, or if sadhus force. But it's the other way around. Sadhus and Lord, they are forcing the other direction. But we are forcing ourselves in a different direction. So, this attraction for the life of a sadhu, idea of a sadhu, that should arise in the heart. So, without that, very, very tough. For that, service to Bhagavata, Bhagavat Seva, Nityam Bhagavat Seva, book Bhagavata and person Bhagavata. And the training, this training of the Bhagavata, physical training of the Bhagavata is important, which transforms the heart. Narada Muni physically went to his home to transform his heart, and Chitraketu was fortunate to accept the training. So the training is necessary. Otherwise, without physical presence, there are so many books, so many instructions. But namanyati tasya nivaranam jana. People don't care. Even knowingly, even after hearing, even after hearing from distance, hearing in a class, unless being personally trained by the Sri Guru, instructed and convinced by Sri Guru, and supported by Sri Guru in that path, that is a training. Without that training, it is very, very difficult to see the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Because our focus remains where it has been all these years. So this Srimad Bhagavatam is a great gift, which try to convince us the paramount importance of detaching from the material life and attaching to a sadhu physically. So one who is following book Bhagavatam without taking this action, he cannot be called as a student of Bhagavatam. Student of Bhagavatam means action. To put things in action. So therefore, book Bhagavata will not be complete without accepting a person Bhagavat in our life and get personal training from the Bhagavata. Otherwise, It may take long time. Even Narada Muni, he says, because there is one more teaching by Narada Muni, where he teaches that I was the only son of my mother who was not only a simple woman but a maid servant as well. Since I was her only offspring, she had no other alternative for protection. So she bound me with the tie of affection. So therefore, family affection binds. And what is the result? Narada Muni could not free himself from his family ties, affection. And by the will of the providence, when his mother left, he went to forest to meditate, and then again the Lord appeared but said, you will not be able to see me again because not fully trained. You have got the attraction, but the training is not there. Still not trained to be a sadhu, to fully. So therefore, Narada Muni had to enter into the body of the Lord when Lord Brahma went to rest, and again appear after whole kalpa. Right? One night is of Brahma's kalpa, and again he appeared along with other saintly persons. And at that time, because being born as a son of Lord Brahma, and having already taken the darshan of the Lord and the guidance before, he next life he fully dedicated himself as being a sadhu to the glorification of the Lord, exclusive glorification of the Lord. So therefore, he occupies a paramount position in our Bhagavad Dharma. He is able to travel everywhere without any restriction because he is always glorifying the Lord, always dedicated, without no other obligations. His only obligation is to take people out of their obligations. That is only his occupation. Occupation of Narada Muni is glorifying the Lord and remove the people from their obligations, transport the people from their obligations to the real obligation, that is to dedicate for the service of the Lord. Hare Krishna, Krishna Hare Hare, Ram 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 Hare Hare. Jai Shri Narada Muni ki jai, Chitraketu ki jai. Any questions? Please come forward.
Hare Krishna Maharaj. Thank you for this wonderful class. Yeah, if anyone is having any question regarding today's class, they can raise the hand and ask His Holiness Bhakti Maharaj. Hare Krishna Govind Maharaj, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaj and all that.
Hare Krishna Maharaj.
Yeah, I noticed that the fifth chapter of first canto is very favorite for many reasons to all of us. So we join you in that regard, at least. And, regarding Narad Muni's realization, which he quoted, so was it a stay out or get out? Means,
What is that, Maharaj? What is that? Stay out.
Stay out. The effect which Narad Muni is feeling that when he associated intimately with the Mahatmas and took their remnants, then he could just save himself. So, in etiquette, in good behavior, and when people in the household affairs, of course, practicing devotional service, they also take remnants. So it also works to eventually get out. But Nad Muni's realization is to stay out. Na? So there are two levels of realization. Your focus, Maharaj, was mostly those who inevitably entered family life and still have the fortune of a devotee's connection. So to remnants, how it works means it ignites their desire to come out at 50, something like that, or the something enters in the system and they start working to come out.
By accepting the remnants, this life of sadhu becomes attractive. That's what Narada Muni said. By accepting the remnants of the sadhus, the very nature of a transcendentalist became attractive to me. That is the result of accepting the remnants of the sadhus. That, oh, their life is the best. I should become like them. This is the transformation that comes and should come. And if it is not coming, there is somewhere something wrong. Somewhere something is wrong. We are very careful to not allow such attraction, or are very careful to guard our present thing or whatever. This attraction should come. That what a life! The life of a sadhu. What a life! One should miss the life of a sadhu. One should miss being a sadhu, turning into a sadhu. So we miss many things, but we don't miss the life of a sadhu. So that missing, that attraction, that is the transformation that comes when one accepts. If it is not coming, somewhere something wrong. Maybe we are too much into it, not accepting the remnants as they should be, or not able to reap the benefits of taking the remnants by cultivating those feelings of attraction to sadhu. So somewhere something, I am not so knowledgeable to what is still stopping, but somewhere something is there. But
So
definitely, yes, Maharaj.
The attraction to the sadhu, it's a full package with the sadhu sang. That is what Nagmuni is trying to say. I think I wish that you could cover the 3 shlokas. After the remnants and how the transformation or attraction to sadhu comes, that is also describing in the following 2 shlokas. Could you cover them?
Yeah, you please tell Maharaj.
The one you quoted was 25, 25, 26 and 27. You described, that would be great.
Which slokas you want, Maharaji?
1, 5, 25 you quoted, and the 2 following ones.
1, 5, 25, 26.
And 27.
Oh, Vyasdeva, in the association and by the mercy of those great Vedants, I could hear them describe the attractive activities of Lord Krishna. And thus listening attentively, my taste for hearing the personality of Godhead increased at every step. So this is another next step. This is attraction to the Lord. Attraction to the sadhu first, and attraction to the Lord in their association. Then what is next? Oh, great sage, as soon as I got a taste of the personality of Godhead, my attention to hear of the Lord was unflinching. And as my taste developed, I could realize that it was only in my ignorance that I had accepted gross and subtle coverings. For both the Lord and I are transcendental. Yes, Maharaj, please continue.
Yeah, now you continue. It's a wonderful thing that Nayad Muni is giving a full package, man. And so now, whatever stage, from his perspective, he's just staying out, But for most listeners, he's also establishing the way out, which was your emphasis. So that's why the three shlokas will give the full picture what you really established wonderfully. That's all, Maharaj.
Thank you, Maharaj.
Hare.
So, any other questions?
Yes, our Balramji is having a question, Maharaj. Yes, Balramji, please.
Hare Krishna Maharaji, Dandot Pranam. Very nice.
Pranam, Balram Prabhuji.
Yeah, so may I add one more sentence to what
You are most
Maharaji?
welcome. What a
And,
blessing. You don't
I
have
have one
question,
question
only
also.
a comment. What a blessing.
No, Maharaji, your questions, your answers.
Yes,
So,
Prabhuji.
so when we eat something,
Mm.
we not only eat the, let's say, the sthulamaya, what we eat, the bhava is also present, because when we eat prasadam, during the process of eating, we are not only eating the what is that, the grass rice or sabji, we are eating also the bhava, which nurtures our bhava also. So
Yes.
that means when we eat prasadam, or our Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also said, Bisaira anna khaile mali na hue mana, or is something like that. So that means when we eat, whatever bhava is there, that also enters in our body.
Right.
So that means when Narad Muni ate the remnants of the sadhus, the bhava is also entered into Narad Muni's body. So that's how the transformation occurs. So any kind of eating, because eating is the only thing that enters in our body through all the bhavas, let's say the subtler bhava or the grass or whatever we eat, everything enters through the food only, because we don't take anything else. And that actually influences everything. So in that way, I think we can understand that.
By eating the remnants of the Lord, one becomes free from sinful reactions.
Yeah.
But by eating the remnants of a sadhu, one's heart becomes transformed. You see it?
Yes, Maharaj. Yeah.
Because every day we are eating prasadam, that is also transcendental. But the Lord has reserved this for the remnants of sadhu.
Yeah, it's the
to show the importance of sadhu, right?
Yes.
Physical importance of sadhu. We need a sadhu, right? You have to have remnants of eaten by sadhu.
Yeah.
So the remnants of sadhu more powerful than the remnants of the Lord. Can I make this statement?
No, Maharaj. I think
No.
a remnant of the sadhu comes after remnants of Krishna.
Yeah, that only,
So
because
it is
they
double
make it more
purified. Yeah,
powerful.
that's why your point is correct. It's doubly purified.
Actually, a sadhu, actually, if you go into the deep, he can offer sadhu direct also.
Yes, Maharaj.
Because Krishna eats through the mouth of the sadhus. I eat through the mouth of my devotee. So it is not a regular practice, but sometimes we don't need to be very particular to offer, then only give to Sri Guru. Sri Guru is Krishna for us. So when the situation is a little bit tricky, we don't need to insist sometime to offer. That is to acknowledge that the Lord, that the Sri Guru is Lord himself for us. So we can offer also directly to Sri Guru. So therefore, that remnants also equally powerful. equally important, because Krishna becomes very pleased that, oh, he is giving such a respect to my devotee. So I have to do something. So it brings Krishna into action more quickly, more sooner. So the remnants of sadhu are very, very powerful.
Yes, Maharaj. I have one
Krishna.
question. Yeah, I have one question. So when we do, let's say, chanting, gradually the contaminations of the, whatever are there in the, or simple reactions of the body and soul, head, everything is eliminated. But here, when Chitraketu saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead, immediately everything got vanquished, all simple reactions. So that means there is some difference in the process. Let's say the chanting, which gradually removes all the simple reactions, but here immediately everything got vanquished. So what is the difference, and how that works?
Difference is Narada Muni.
And how that works?
But the difference is the training of Narada Muni. Because he is personally trained by Narada Muni. So therefore, he got the audience of the Lord very fast. Probably he has not undergone what we are undergoing. So Narada Muni came, he gave just convinced him, and then he accepted, and then immediately Lord is there. You see? And then immediately he got within few days. So the difference is Narada Muni. So we also need a Narada Muni in our life. That is the difference. The holy name, it purifies. How it purifies? It purifies, and the result of the purification is that you develop attraction for sadhus like Narada Muni and take their shelter and get trained. That is purification. Purification is not something all of your mind become free from. How it becomes free from everything? It is a gradual process. And the process includes this bringing such sadhus into our life and making a connection, and then giving initial attraction, then by their association and accepting their training and remnants, we develop the attraction for the nature of sadhu. You see, there are two types of attraction to sadhu. One is attraction of a sadhu. Oh, I like this sadhu, right? This sadhu is very nice. But another attraction is that, oh, this sadhu life is very nice. I should become a sadhu. So the holy name brings attraction to a sadhu, but a sadhu brings the attraction to become a sadhu. So Narada Muni is a difference. So the holy name brings attraction to sadhu, and sadhu brings attraction to become a sadhu. That's why Kaunteya Pratijani Nami Bhakta Pranasya. So Krishna always uses sadhus, devotees to make devotees. Devotees are made by devotees. So Krishna always engages devotees to make devotees. And that he likes. Because devotees can do better job than Krishna in making devotees. Because they have no reservation to talk about Krishna. Krishna may have some reservation sometimes. Surrender unto him. He may sometimes feel modest to talk about himself. But devotees have no reservation. Rather, they celebrate talking about Krishna. So therefore, the difference is that a sadhu brings attraction to become a sadhu, and that attraction brings Krishna. That attraction causes Krishna's darshan or Krishna's mercy. Get Krishna. So both have their